So let's face it, if you planned just 10% better than the way that you're planning now, your life would be monumentally much more organized. You'd feel more in control, you'd have more clarity, make more progression, and suffer less anxiety, overwhelm, and stress about where your life was going. So if you're a successful guy, you're wanting to get the most out of life, whether it's in a professional role or whether it's in a personal role. And unlike Jesse here, who just gets to sit around chilling out all day, we need to make sure that we are on top of our game in terms of where our time, our energy, and our focus are being driven. In my top 1% club, my private mentoring group, every single one of those members have doubled their efficiency and doubled their business or doubled their efforts in terms of relationships and health because of these simple steps that I'm going to show you to learn to plan like a pro. Now, I know what you're thinking. Planning like a pro sounds like another wanky title, another hack to be able to learn how to do something that is probably unsustainable. Whenever you think about a professional, you think about somebody that is performing at a top 1%, right? So like a pro footballer, a pro athlete, the way that they show up is at the highest level. Everything that they do is at the highest level. So when we're talking about planning, it's about learning to do it at the highest level. It's not just another wanky terminology. So in this video, I'm going to attempt to show you the 4 simple steps that I started using to help me start planning my time, my energy, and my focus in the right direction. It's the same system that I've taught the hundreds of guys that have come through our front door to work with us. It's the same blueprint and system that can be sustainable for you to allow you to move forwards with your life personally and professionally and feel like you're in control of your own life, rather than living this chaotic mentality or this chaotic lifestyle that we go through when we're not planning our lives. But before we get into that, let's talk about why you're making your life harder than it needs to be right now. So let me introduce you to the James Boardman of 2013 to 2017. My growth plan during this time was this spaghetti junction. It was all over the place. This looks like a 2-year-old has drawn on the board. I would go forwards and up, back of myself. And that was because of these 4 key reasons. And it was almost the chaotic lifestyle. And that's because of these 4 key points. I lacked a plan, which meant I lacked direction, which meant I lacked structure, routine, and systems in everyday life, which meant I lacked awareness. And I didn't know any of these because I didn't know how to plan. I didn't know the power of it. I didn't understand how it was going to elevate me to the place that I wanted to be in business and in life. The critical mistake that I was making here is that I wasn't valuing the importance of having a plan. I didn't value the importance of my time, my energy, and my focus. The focus was the most important thing because my time and my energy would simply follow the focus. But because there wasn't any, because there was no plan, there was no focus or plan for me to nurture or direct that time and energy into something to grow, which is why it stunted my growth in business and in myself because I didn't value it. And it's one of those things that I do painfully regret. I often think if I started planning and learning, investing in planning and structure and self-mastery earlier on, would I be further along down the line in terms of the growth of my business and the growth of myself? So the 4 steps that I'm going to show you is a really simple process. If somebody like me can do it, then you definitely can do this, right? And I think that planning is made out to be something much more than it is. It's so simple. It's just a case of creating a statement for where your time and energy is going. So think about a bank statement. It tells you where all your money's coming in and all your money's going out. All this is a time statement of where all your time and energy is going, okay, and how you're going to be expending it. Okay, let's get into the 4 simple steps to planning like a pro. So there are lots of different elements that we can plan. You can plan a day, a week, a month, 12 weeks, a year, 5 years, 10 years. But on this example, I'm just going to show you how to plan a week. Super simple. So number one is simply brain dump. Think about the things that you've got going on next week and think about the things that you need to achieve in two categories. Number one, your personal life. Number two, your professional life. So if all the things that you want to achieve within that personal life, you'd be thinking about your relationships, your health, and your personal development. All the things that you're thinking about in your professional world is all of the things that you're going to do to elevate your business, market your business, make money in your business, or within your career. What are the things that you need to do within that role to move your company and you forwards? Number two is prioritization. Prioritization is such a simple process that is made to be super overcomplicated. Think about the things that you value most or that need doing the most. So we start within our personal world because your personal world is the priority. So we start as we mean to go on. So within the personal world, what are the things that are most important to you that you need to get done? Spending time with a wife, date night, taking the kids to the club, making sure you do your 5 workouts a week. Then you go into your professional world and you go, right, what are the prioritizations for my business or my career? What are the top jobs that need to be achieved by the end of the week? So from your brain dump, you'll circle those. Number 3 is create the plan. So what I've done for you directly in the description below is put a link to a Google format that allow you to see a basic format of how to plan your week. So you'll see my example in there of my week that's planned, and you'll then see the blank one, and all you've got to do is fill in the gaps about where your time is going. So you split the day into 4, early AM, late AM, early PM, late PM. And then you simply fill in the spaces about what you're going to do. It's like being at school when you used to have your periods from 9 to 9:50, from 10 to 10:50. You're simply doing that. You're creating time blocks. And throughout the day, you'll know where your time's going, your energy is going, and what the focus is. And within that time frame should be where you're going to be completing your priority tasks that help you feel like you're moving forward professionally and personally. Number 4, the one that nobody ever does, which is the most important, is the review. If you don't review your weekly plan, how do you know if you've achieved what you said you were going to achieve? How can you improve yourself better? How can you recognize your own success? People are too lazy to do this, right? It's like not doing a post-workout routine, stretching, cool down, and then people wonder why they have injuries. This is so important within the role of planning to review and then change from those reviews. This is so important to review and then redeem, and you redeem the areas that are not going well, the things that didn't go well for you, the areas that you didn't plan so well, the areas where you overplanned or underplanned. Review is key. So this is all well and good, James, but how do you go about sustaining such a routine? Well, it's like anything, right? Anything you start doing within your life, that suddenly becomes a routine because you practice it and you do the reps. Brushing your teeth. You should really do it twice a day, one at night, one in the morning, to make sure your teeth don't fall out. And you've learned that from a kid and you've done it every single day for the majority of your life. Some of you haven't, but the majority of you have, and that's become a routine. And you have to think about the same thing with planning. You have to make this sustainable by planning at the same time on the same day every single week. So here's my example of how I formulate my planning routine to plan the following week. So like anything, the best thing that we need is a structure, routine, and system to plan. We have to make sure it's a non-negotiable within our life, just like brushing our teeth. So here, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday are the days that I spend planning. I spend a total of here roughly 55 minutes to an hour, okay, spread over those 3 days. On Thursday, I do the brain dump and priorities. So I spend just 15 minutes in the morning brain dumping and thinking about what needs to be done next week, okay, and then prioritizing it based on my 28-day goals, which is then based on my 12-week goals, which is a different video. Then on the Friday, I spend 25 minutes putting the plan together using the template that I've put in the description down below this video. So I then will go out, and by the end of that 25 minutes to 30 minutes, I would have planned all the next week. So I know where my time, energy, and focus is going for the whole week. That way my team and my family, i.e. my wife, will know exactly where I'm going to be at what time. And that's the point. I should know where you're going to be at what time and what you're going to be doing that tells me that you're in control, moving forwards, and are working to something. The last part is on Sunday, spend 15 minutes just reviewing. I'm watching football from 4:30. I will look at my screen, I will look at the Google format that I've done, I will read through it, look for any possible barriers, any possible conflictions. Once it's all good to go, I'll sign it off and we'll be ready for the week. So how do we make sure that we're being accountable and we're sustaining and we're keeping this process going? So I'm going to show you now in our community what we do, or what the guys do, to make sure they've ticked that box of saying, yes, I've done my timesheet, I know where my time, energy and focus is going for the week, I'm ready to get to work. Cool. All right. So in terms of when we're looking, how do we stay accountable? How do we make sure that we're reviewing the process? So this is our community. Okay. So within the community, we have lots of guys holding themselves accountable in here. And one of the things that we have is weekly planning. So obviously, because I'm teaching you weekly planning at the basic form, I wanted to show you this. All right. So if we go on here and we go into our weekly plans, okay, what we can see is this is where guys come in and over the weekend. So by Sunday night, before they go to bed, they have to come in and have to review, okay, what they were doing in terms of where their time, energy, and focus was going based on what they did last week. And you can kind of see people doing it on a maintenance level, getting the basics, and then their growth work. Okay, so that's more of an advance there. So John's like one of our more advanced guys, been with us a while. And you can go through here and you can just see where guys are like reviewing what they've done. But then if you come in to think what they're going to do next week, so I'm going to do a minimum of 120 minutes working out. I will need to maintain accountability streak, relationship, do something nice for me and the missus, business, work, training on Friday. And then there's the growth, get out walking, daily journaling. So each one of these things is a micro element of a bigger picture. Okay. So for a lot of these guys, they will be working towards a much higher level or higher goal over 28 days or over a quarter. All right. But when we very first start, we just want to get into the habit of managing our week and managing our days, keeping it super simple, building up that level of conditioning, and then being accountable and sustainable and consistent within like a community, or building a non-negotiable habit like what you're seeing here. So I hope that this video has been useful for you. My main purpose for this video was to show you how to go about planning like a pro, performing like a pro, moving forwards to a top 1%, right? We get caught up and lost in life and we lose time, energy and focus. And there is so much more that we can achieve if we are planning like a pro. And the consequences if we don't is that we do end up sitting around like Jess here, even though she is gorgeous and the love of my life, she's not going to make any progress sitting around like that for the rest of her life, and nor are you. But we want you to thrive and get to the place that you want to be. And this video here will help you do that by understanding the need for accountability. And it's definitely worth a watch off the back of this video. Thank you for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts on the video, and I'll see you for the next one.